and I really wanted to try to make stats more fun. So third, chapter 3, I did the whole starburst thing throughout the chapter. What? No, we don't get it. At chapter 4, I was using like this survey data that from the old CPM book before, and I was like, oh, I think we should make our own surveys. So that's what I did before, so I could prepare it for you for chapter 4. So hopefully it will be fun. I have to tell you that it's kind of silly and stupid, like nobody would research this. But that was the point, to try to make it fun. So nobody's gonna be like, how many tacos, Anyway. So if it seems like it's a little stupid, it's on purpose, just for fun reasons. Okay, so the next thing you need to know is that all of our notes this chapter are going to go back and forth between the notebook. There's some stuff in the notebook, but all of the vocabulary is going to be in this. So I made you an organizer so we could basically fill in a lot of the blanks just for speed purposes. So there's a lot of vocab. The good news is there's a lot of stuff you already know. So anyway, this is actually the end of the notes in the notebook today. This is it. Yeah, see this one down here, that's for 5th period. So, okay. The first thing that we need to do is be able to identify the population of some survey and the sample of some survey. We're going to use this technique all the way through the end of the year. So they're going to ask you what the population is and what the sample is from now through May. So we need to make sure that we know how to do it. And the issue is that people will take the population too far. So anyway, in this particular case, what's easiest to do is identify the sample first. So how many students did I sample? Sample specifically. 12, okay. These students just happen to just be my students. So I'm going to say surveyed students, which narrows it down to 139 people specifically, or 139 people that took my survey. So 12 surveyed students. And then what's the population? So what you do, you write the sample first, then you take the number away and just replace it with the word all. I want to make sure that you don't think that the population is all Benicia High School students or all students or everyone in the United States. It's very specifically just the people surveyed. So the word population is very specific. Okay, now scoot yourself over to the blue pages. That was fun. Okay, so this first part here is basically coming off of what we just learned. So we need to learn the words population parameter. Population parameter is a quantitative measurement from the entire group we want information about. Most of the time, you're not going to have the population parameter. We would have it with my taco information because the population was very specifically students and I asked everyone. But most of the time when you're doing research, you don't know the population parameter. That would be unknown to you most of the time. I actually am really interested in the words that you guys know already. So a census collects data from the entire population and produces a parameter. A census. I did a census. which means I asked all of my students. A parameter is always a constant, which means it's not going to change because I asked everybody. So it's solid. There are two very common population parameters that we use in stats. One of them is the mean. Very specifically, the mean mu. And the other one is P, which is a population proportion, like the proportion of people that were in Math 3 in my survey. The next thing we need to learn about is a sample statistic. That's why this class is named statistics. The whole point of a statistic is to try to figure out the population parameter because you don't know it. So you use a statistic to estimate because you're just too lazy to ask everybody, usually. A quantitative measurement from a subset of individuals we want information about. So it just means we only ask a few or a couple or several, not everybody. So everybody, just a few. Sampling collects data from a sample and produces a statistic. A statistic changes from sample to sample. So if I ask a random sample of 5 of you, how many tacos make an ideal meal? And then I ask 5 different kids, it's going to change each time. Does that make sense? Okay, there's 2 very common sample statistics that we use. X bar and p hat. X bar meaning the sample mean, and p hat being sample proportion. We haven't really worked with p hat yet, but you know that hat means estimated, so. Okay, a study often occurring by mail, online, or over the telephone that collects data to learn about the associated population. That is a sample survey. You guys get asked to do surveys all the time. You're constantly being asked to do surveys. And most of them are really, really biased. So okay, any questions so far? Okay, so today we're going to learn about how to sample badly. What's wrong to do? And they're all the different types of biases, which I'm really curious to see if you know the names of these already, because a lot of other subjects teach them as well. Bias is the result of a poorly designed statistical study. Bias will overestimate or underestimate the population parameter you're interested in. Sometimes bias cannot be avoided and will be reported in a statistical analysis. Sometimes you just can't do anything about it. Okay, a sample taken of individuals who are easy to reach. Does anybody know what that's called? Maybe in stats, it's called a convenience sample. A sample taken of individuals who are easy to reach. A sample taken of individuals who choose to be in the sample. Anybody know what it would be called if someone chooses to be in it? Yes, voluntary response sample. You have a lot of this information. I know you do. Typically, only those with strong opinions will volunteer to be in the sample, and bias will occur. One of the ways that this affects your life on a daily basis is product reviews. You have to be really careful when you're looking at product reviews. Well, first of all, most of them are AI these days, but you have to look and see only people that are really unhappy with something or really happy with something are going to post a review. Those middle of the road people probably aren't going to bother. So you have to be really careful about voluntary response. I have to tell you, I know all of that, but I still look at the reviews for like everything I buy. I don't know. Just say. Okay. An outcome of poor sampling where some members of the population are less likely to be chosen for the sample or cannot be chosen at all. I don't know that you guys know this one. It's called undercoverage. Oh yeah, it kind of sounds like you're a spy, but that's not what it means. Okay, and undercoverage has a friend. An individual chosen to be part of the sample cannot be contacted or refuses to participate. This is called non-response. Okay, and you have to be really careful about not mixing up these two. These people didn't even get a chance to be chosen. These people were chosen, but they didn't respond. So that's kind of nuance. Okay. The survey questions are written in such an order that one question leads you to answer in a certain way on the next question. This is called question order bias. That's a really easy name for that one. Okay, let's give you an example of question order bias. Question number 1. Did you go out with your friends this weekend? Question number 2. Rate your happiness from 1 to 10. So you see what I mean? Like question number 1 caused you to feel a certain way, and then question number 2 asked you a question that was already biased because you were feeling a certain way from question number 1. It like led you in a certain direction. I know. You have to be on the lookout for this stuff. It's bad. Okay, this one. Somebody knows this one. A question starts with a leading statement or statistic to lead you to, what is this crap? There is a typo. It's not called persuasion. It is. That's a very good, like, realistic word for it, but there's actually a name for this. It's called preface. Has anyone heard of the word preface before other than the beginning of a book? Okay. The question is written in such a way that the individual might want to answer differently to each part, but only has the opportunity to give one answer. This is called 2 questions in 1. Some of these just have really common sense names, like you could have figured it out just from the. Okay, we have 2 on the back. And you guys all will know the second one. I promise you'll know that. Pleasing or unpleasant words are used to lead an individual to answer a certain way. That's called biased wording. Okay, last one. The individual feels pressured to answer in a way that pleases the surveyor. It's desire to please bias in stats. That's like when your boss comes out and asks you if you like working there. You're like, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. That's desire to please bias. Okay. What we're going to do now is this is weird, but we're going to do a Kahoot on these vocab words. Yeah. Just really quick, you know how I told you guys I have Virgo problems? Meaning like everything has to be a certain way. It's great sometimes and awful others. Well, I couldn't live with the fact that it was in quizzes, so I retyped it into a Kahoot. I just couldn't. Because everything else I have, there's Kahoots. And I just had this one thing in quizzes and I couldn't take it. Yeah, I did. I finished it. So it's not a quizzes, it's a Kahoot. Anyway. So keep your blue sheets next to you. I like your George Washington wig. I like it. I think it's good looking. I need 2 more. Sorry, honey. Perfect. Okay, so this question requires some like life experience. Yeah, I know. These questions are trying to get you to move your brain in a way to think about how circumstances might affect. So if you're at the library, are those children more or less likely to do homework? More likely. So that means they're going to give you bigger amounts than the average person, which means it would overestimate. You see what I'm saying? You have to think about like how the world works with these. It's not just there's no formula. It's because they called in. Yeah. Volunteers, call in to a radio show. Hello. Call in. Who got it right? Yeah. Ah. So on this one, you're supposed to notice that 97% said less likely, which is a really big percent. So it's probably overestimated. One second. I gotta fix this. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh no, that's not gonna work either. Okay, sorry. Things killing me. Yay. Yay, we did it. So remember, only certain numbers are in the directory and only certain people will be home in those hours. Okay. So who's likely to be home between 2 and 4 p.m. on a regular, well, stay-at-home moms? Stay-at-home moms are conservative, usually families. Did you just look at 49.7 being small right now?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's just like a whole bunch of like, this happens and this happens and that has this to happen. That's what I said.
You got to mail it in. It's voluntary. So only mad people are going to mail the thing back in.
I legitimately think I'm in last place. She says it was fine.
Yeah, what James just said. Yeah, the first one's there, so they got up early. Sophia, you win. Did you get a pencil the first time? Did you win one already? Do you want the pencil or the lollipop? Okay. Lollipop it is.
Starting it, maybe not finished. Once they do it. Maybe like.
Okay, here's my joke. It says, sampling size. Yes, I love responding to surveys. No, I also love it. We received 500 responses and found that people love responding to surveys. Yeah.